Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Mid-Atlantic Mulling League's Chaos Cup. We're in week number 7, and we got a doubleheader to round out the week for you tonight. We're going to get started tonight with Adge versus Bashish, Dangerous Knights Crew versus MAML Nightmare, Connor versus Festoon. We've got Dark Elves versus Necromantic Horror. Let's take a look at the standings before we take a look at these two teams. We're getting into the end of regulation in this first competition of the season. In Division A is where we are tonight, and currently in first place in that division are Ajax's, the Fishy Fiends. They are a Chaos Renegades team. They are 5-1-1 with BB Nuts. Believe Broncos in second place. They're a Nurgle team. They are 4-1-1, and the Blitzburg Steelers in third. That's JD Whitey's Skaven team. They are 3-3-0. Over in Division B, in first place are the Goblins of Cobblestorm's Goddard Gets. They are 3-2-1. In second place, Spire's Philosopher's Song. They're a Lizardman team. They are 3-2-1. And in third place, the Vesuvian Lavabacks, coached by Berserker Tempest. They're a Lizardman team. They're 3-1-3. And in Division C, Doug the Minotaur finally losing a game in this competition, but still very much in first place. The Dinnerbell Darlings are a Dwarven team. They are 5-0-1. In second place, Moobs NC Snakes. They're a Dark Elf team. They are 4-2-0. And Clypheus's Odin, its Snuffle, is in third place. They're a Norse team. They are 4-1-1. MAML Nightmare will be the home team for... that's not right. That's not right at all. The Dangerous Knights Crew will be the home team for this evening. This is an 11-player roster. 2 out with an injury this week, so 2 journeymen are going to have to be picked up. A TV of 920,000 gold. They have just the 3 blitzers on the roster. They have a runner, they have a witch elf, and a bunch of linemen. 1 oppo, 1 dedicated fan, and 2 rerolls. They're going to be up against this Necro team, MAML Nightmare, coached by Festoon. 11 players on this roster. All will be starting this evening. That brings them up to a TV of 1,125,000 gold. That's including the journeyman. 60,000 gold in petty cash. Going to the the Dangerous Knights Crew this evening. We'll talk about what they might do with that. I think there's really only one option, but there's plenty of options. But I know the option I would pick. 2 werewolves, 2 wraiths, a ghoul runner, 2 flesh golems, a bunch of zombos, 5 dedicated fans, 2 rerolls. How are these two teams going to play tonight? Let's talk about the dark. No, you know what? Let's talk about this Necro team first. Necro team, pretty solid team. One of the better teams in Blood Bowl, I think. Not quite up there with, say, dwarves or undead, I think, but they're still pretty good. These werewolves, great pieces. MA8, they have Claw, they have Frenzy, one of which, the number 1 werewolf, has picked up the block skill as well. Very fast pieces. Claw will be of great use tonight as they're up against the Dark Elves. The Dark Elves have AV of 9+. Claw treats everybody as if it's an 8+. These werewolves are going to be putting in some work, especially one with the block skill. These werewolves can, of course, be ball carriers, but this one with block can... I mean, MA8 with block, Claw, and Frenzy, you're looking at 4 dice on your block, an AV8 to break armor. You have the block skill. This is a fantastic blitzer. Despite the fact that the Wraiths are your blitzers, these werewolves will be putting in a lot of work tonight trying to remove players from the pitch. The number 6 ghoul runner here has picked up Sure Hands, almost certainly going to be the ball carrier, at least to start off on the drive, and then you can see Festoon is picking up block on both the flesh columns. That's a great pickup on these flesh columns. They have a strength of 4, they have stand firm, they're great anchors, and block makes them that much more reliable. This Necro team, I would say, up against a Basher team, they'd want to lean into the speed of the Ghoul Runners and the Werewolves, but maybe against this Dark Elf team, they want to lean into the sort of the bash game with the Wraiths and the Werewolves and the Flesh Golems. And I think that's exactly what Festoon will do tonight, trying to remove these players from the pitch. Those Werewolves are going to be key to that, again, with that Claw, Frenzy, block. But the problem is, with Frenzy, he's going to have to follow up with the Werewolves. And if he's not careful, these werewolves, it's not even so much about the frenzy traps, but leaving that werewolf exposed. Because if that werewolf's exposed, you can bet Connor's going after that werewolf, going to try to remove it ASAP. Connor has 3 targets on this roster. Number 1, number 2, and number 6. If he can remove these 3 pieces, MAML Nightmare is going to have a real tough time trying to win this game because they're not going to be able to score touchdowns. The Dark Elf team, however, in this matchup, I think they're going to control the momentum in this game. They're going to have 2 journeymen. It's not going to be a big deal. Unfortunately, one of these blitzers will be out. That is a big deal. Having 4 blitzers is great. Starting with just 3 of them, it's a little bit of a hit, particularly in this matchup. He did pick up Frenzy on Constance. So Constance has Frenzy in block. Constance can be a very similar blitzer as to the Werewolf, but with the Stark Elf team, they have a good bit of speed. A lot of MA7 players, a great amount of agility. Everybody's agility 2+, does have that Witch Elf with Frenzy as well. These can pull players out of position, but really what this Dark Elf team is looking to do is leverage their speed against the Necro team while keeping an eye out for the 2 Wolves and the Ghoul. If they can identify the Wolves or identify blocks on the Wolves and the Ghoul, they'll be in great shape. Otherwise, they just need to steer clear of them. They need to take some marks or put some tackle zones between the Wolves and the Ghouls and their ball carrier that can score kind of just about whenever they want. They have a lot of speed, a lot of agility. I think Connor really has to look at the passing game as well. The Dark Elf team, the runner, does have dump off. This means if this runner is going to get blitzed down, going to get blocked down, he can say, you know what? Hold up. I'm going to do a quick pass first. That means he wants to keep another player within 3 spaces of this runner to dump the ball off of that piece and then keep the drive alive. This with Edge 2+, this is great, right? This is a great skill to have as a rookie. This is a great option to give yourself as well. Try to keep that ball safe, try to open up a lane down pitch. The Necro team is going to have to put tackle zones between this Dark Elf team and the end zone. That means not just 1, but and really not just 2, but really stagger them, create a minefield of tackle zones so that these elves can't just run by them and score. Connor needs to be aware of that, needs to play into the speed a little bit, needs to watch out and probably not go toe-to-toe with those flesh golems too much. Of course, the Necro team's going to be aware of that. They're going to try to keep those flesh golems in the drive. That might mean that Connor's going in for a mark or 2. We'll see. I think this Dark Elf team, if they're going to take those marks, they don't want to play the bashy game against this Necro team. They need to take the marks when it matters. Take those marks or get those tackle zones in place. Stop those pieces just before you get a turn before you're about to score. If you can keep your ball, get your ball carrier forward, set up a pocket, take the marks so nobody can follow you, and then control that section of the pitch, you can get in the end zone very easily with this team. But just the 2 rerolls is going to make things a little tricky, I think, for the Dark Elf team. Again, leaning into that pass game just a little bit. Doesn't even have to pass tonight, but just having the option to pass is going to force the defense to spread out a little bit. Dangerous Knights crew seems to be on defense to start. So they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the line. 5 on the line, 2 linebackers, and let's say 4 in the secondary. Now the offense setting up with 5 on the line here. MAML Nightmare. Dangerous Knights crew, they did pick up Frenzy, so I don't know if they had enough to get anything in the inducement phase. We'll see. No, nothing at all. So we're just on the roster tonight. Just 2 rerolls for each team. Again, the 2 Wolves and the Ghouls are the only real ball carriers for the Necro team. Watch out for this Witch Elf as well. AV 8+, but she does have Frenzy and Dodge. She can control the sideline, as can the Wolves. And if you end up in one of these 2 spaces near the sideline, your opponent is absolutely going to try to find a way to serve for the player. And Officious Ref really hates number 14. Gets into a little tussle, stuns the player on the line. Now 2-die blocker over in the right wide zone. Oh boy! To get things started with a 1-man player advantage on the removal. Well done by MAML Nightmare. Welcome all to the stream. Welcome, Bonru. How's it going? Got the removal in the right wide zone. Got a stun in the left wide zone. And now 2-die block against Zellaran, the number 4 journeyman. Needs a 9+ to break armor here. Both flesh golems have another armor break and another stun. What are these? Wood elves? And now the Journeyman on the left side of the line gets a knockdown against, I'm sorry, the Flesh Golem gets a knockdown on the Journeyman on the left side of the line here. Baron Bucky, welcome to the stream. Baron Bucky says, what are the Dark Elves' record? Well, two-die blitz by Dragon Redclaw here. But no armor break on the blitz. Had to follow up with Frenzy, keeping that werewolf safe. He needs to keep the wolves and the ghouls safe. You can use MAML bot to find out. So you can type in team... Here, I'll do it for you. You type team stats and then the name of the team. Just like that. Good pick up here by the number 6 Ghoul Runner. Now has the ball in the dangerous night. I'm sorry, MAML Nightmare is in 20-yard line. Final block on the line here. No armor break. Oh, thanks, Baron Bucky. Yeah, you can look up team stats, coach stats, and race stats. And skills. Turn 1 now for the Dangerous Knights crew. They've lost a player already. 2 are stunned. They're spread kind of wide here against this Necro team. Standing players up on the line. Doesn't really have a place for number 6 to go, so he'll stand up. Doesn't have a positive dodge. Could have moved. Could have moved number 7 away and then given a 2+ dodge to get off the line here. Dark Elf team probably not looking to remain marked against this Necro team. Probably wants to try to hold them to a blitz where at all possible. That could mean dodging away, but a better way to do that would be to get a blitzer in, get a 2-die on a blitz, and then get a series of blocks down the line where you can block everyone else away. 48 seconds left in turn 1 for the Dangerous Knights crew. Just the 2 rerolls. They're going to have to be a little careful here with their action order. And they'll have to be cognizant of when it matters to spend a reroll and when it doesn't. Sometimes, like, if it's a 2+ dodge to get away and that piece doesn't need to be standing to hold down your formation, maybe you just let that slide. You let it slide, you keep your reroll, and you save it for when you might be able to convert that into a touchdown or preventing a touchdown. Dangerous Knights crew setting up some columns against this Necro team, but again, this column is marked here, so that's a block and a blitz, and then that opens up this column. Here's the blitz, the 1-die blitz against Rotgut McSmash. Gets a push here, can push him away, gets him off of number 6. Well done. Still has plenty of movement left with the blitzer. Keeps the blitzer in place here, and now turn 2 for MAML Nightmare. 2-die block against Sassafras Salamander. Gets a pal. Now Flesh Golem Brack the Bludgeoner will be marking 2 Dark Elves. Takes a mark over in the right wide zone against the runner. Going after the runner with the Wraith. Got the pal here. Needs just 8+ to break armor. These positionals fairly important with this low TV roster. Losing any one of them can hurt this Dark Elf team fairly well. Now 2-die blocking against the Journeyman. Number 10 gets a push out of this. Mortis the Mangled on the block. Mortis, you don't look mangled. You look lovely. You look... you know what? Never mind. You look... you know what? You got a style. You got a style, buddy. MAML Nightmare advances the ball up to the 6-yard line. They set up a cage with the 2 wolves on the back of the cage. So the Dark Elves not having to worry about a wolf blitz this turn. Again, remember, these wolves with claws treats every armor break as an plus. And that is valuable against these Dark Elves where most of the team are 9 plus. Rotgut McSmash moves over in the left wide zone to take a mark against the, oh boy. Who got Loa, the favorite of the Horned Rat? Number 11, Dark Elf lineman. He's like, is that strip ball? Strip ball lineman. Turn 2 now for the Dangerous Knights crew. It's always great to recover this ball and get a touchdown on the board, but remember, the defense's job is to stop the score. That is the primary objective for the defense. The secondary objective is to recover that ball and score. So long as they can stop the score here, then the Dangerous Knights crew will have done their job. They can feel good about the defense and then start thinking about winning the game in the second half when they're going to be on offense. 2+ dodge to reset those columns in front of this Necro team. So columns are great when you're up against a very speedy, very agile team. And that's because you can see all the tackle zones. This is all the space they control. So if you get, say you blitz down this player, well, you're still controlling all this space, right? So nobody can get, after that blitz, nobody can get past you without rolling some dodge rolls. But up against this Necro team, these 3 pieces right here, these are really the focus of the defense, I think. They shouldn't get, well, I guess that's a strategic consideration, but they could get super aggressive, but they don't necessarily need to get aggressive on these pieces, especially considering that these Wolves are MA8, and if the aggression doesn't work out, they can take off and get right behind you. Good blitz over in the right wide zone. Lots of remaining movement left with the number 1 blitzer. This is Constance Boss Lady. She's the blitzer with Frenzy. Dangerous Knights crew on the bonus clock. Nowhere to really go with the blitzer unless it's going to be to apply some pressure. And if that's a lone blitzer, I don't think that's worth it. So he'll probably stay in place here. Still has a few more players to activate. Oh, tries to dodge around the right side, fails the dodge roll, spends a reroll. 2 dodges down to 1 reroll from the Dangerous Knights crew. So Connor clearly wanting to get this runner into position, spent one of the 2 rerolls to get across the line of scrimmage. So trying to apply a little bit of pressure here on the right side. Now failed dodge back at the line of scrimmage. Spends the final reroll for the dodge. So both rerolls spent here in turn 2 to keep those columns in check. Turn 3 now for MAML Nightmare. Two-die block in the left wide zone gets a push out of this. Didn't follow up on the block. Wouldn't have had an assist anyway. MAML Nightmare controlling center pitch fairly well right now. Here's the 2-die blitz. Double pals against Matthias Sneak. Gets an armor break. Gets a stun. Good stun. Decides not to press the advantage and take a mark on these linemen. I think I'd play this a little more aggressively with the Necro team and maybe a little less aggressively with the Dark Elf team. But we'll see how this plays out. That's one of the fun things about Blood Bowl is that there's so many options, so many choices. There have been plenty of times where I would say, boy, I wouldn't do this. And then a coach did that, and it works out very well because there's an angle or there's an option, or 4 turns later it results in something that I can't see. It's one of my very favorite things about Blood Bowl. Ball advances to the 2-yard line. Remember, the school runner has dodge, so it makes him a little more resilient. The defender stumbles result will not knock down the ghoul runner. There's no tackle on the opposing team. Now they're taking a mark with corpse grip stumblefoot, the number 13 lineman. These linemen, their job is to take marks and take hits. So they're going to mark Sassafras Salamander. These marks matter a whole lot more now that both rerolls have been burned by the Dark Elf team. Just one failed dodge, right? It's a 1 in 6 chance. You take enough dodges, you're going to fail one. One failed dodge will be a turnover. So now the Dangerous Night Screw has to be very, very careful with their action order. They need to make sure that they're taking their least risky actions first and their more risky actions last to make sure that they can get as many actions as possible on their turn. James likes snacks. Welcome to the stream. James likes snacks as the good or frustrating, depending on your point of view. The thing about Blood Bowl is that the wacky ideas will work about 1 in 6 times. I very much find that as a good thing. But I guess if you're like a Euro gamer, if you play Terra Mystica, you probably think it's a bad thing. All right, gets the mark against Corpse Grip Stumblefoot for the 2-die block with Sassafras Salamander in the backfield. 4-point cage for the offense, currently on their own 2-yard line. Festoon still holding on to both rerolls. Under a minute to play for the Dangerous Night Screw. They're going to reposition the journeyman over the left wide zone. Good dodge by the number 1 blitzer to get away from the Wraith. I knew it. I knew it. James like snacks says, funny enough, I have a friend who's way into Terra Mystica/Gaia project who finds the variance in Blood Bowl frustrating. He's a way better player than me, though. 2-die block against Corpse Grip Stumblefoot. We'll get the knockdown here, looking for a 9+. Got the armor break, gets a stun out of it. So the stuns on the zombies. Zombies are very slow with an MA of 4. That means they'll be out for a turn due to the stun, and then the follow-up turn is going to cost them 3 MA to stand up. It gives them 1 effective MA of movement. So basically, it depends on how the drive plays out, but basically out for 2 turns. Number 11 lineman in the left wide zone. Blocks free. Didn't blitz away, so he might be the target of a blitz next turn to try to pin him to the sideline. It's going to depend on how Festoon feels about this cage. If he wants to move it forward, he'll probably blitz forward. Otherwise, has an opportunity to try to set up a surf 2 turns. There it is, turn 4 now for the MAML Nightmare. Move says pin him, surf him with the wolf. Fair enough. Fair enough, yep. The Wolves are here. They have an MA of 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They can get the whole side of the pitch. 2-die blitz with number 2 gets a push here. So decides to blitz forward. Gets a push into another 2-die. Gets the knockdown on Cutthroat, the number 2 blitzer. Looks to be moving this ball 1 space forward. There it is. Crosses the line of scrimmage with the Ghoul Runner. MAML Nightmare not availing themselves of these wolves. Again, Like, look at this wolf. You can see how he's kitted him out, right? So the wolves come with claw. Everybody has an AV of 8+. They come with frenzy. So they're rolling 2 to 4 dice on their blitzes typically. And he has block. So a very reliable blitzer. Lots of dice, has block, AV 8+. A great blitzing piece in Dragon Red Claw here. Can really put the hurt on and start removing pieces. Final turn of the first quarter coming up for the Dangerous Knights crew. Two blitzers on a Necro team are the Wraiths. They come with the block skill, of course, but they also have sidestep, which is great, and they have foul appearance. If you try to take a block or a blitz on a Wraith, you have to roll a d6 first. If you roll a 1, you are so disgusted by them. I mean, who could be disgusted by that face, really? But you're so disgusted by them that you refuse to block them after all. You lose the block or the blitz, and they could be very, very annoying. Balanced out by the fact that they have no hands, so they can't be ball carriers. Columns continuing to be set up here by the Dangerous Knights crew, but this column here is still marked by Brack the Bludgeoner. So that'll be a free, not free, but this will be a block by the Flesh column currently, not a blitz. And still has Cutthroat, who is knocked down besides the number 9 Flesh column. Here's the blitz. One die blitz, got the pal. Wow. Scary blitz, got the pal. Looking for a 10+ to break armor here, has to follow up, except it's a bonus. Except he stood firm. So the Flesh column stood firm, so the Witch Elf will not be marked by number 11. Witch Elf with one more space of movement. Dangerous Knights crew back on the bonus block. Got the 1 die blitz on the Flesh column. Didn't break armor. 10+, fairly strong. Ends the turn by standing up number 2. So the action order that we talked about. So standing up and moving. These are 2 actions that don't cost you any die rolls. They succeed 100% of the time. So if you start if you have no intentions of moving the blitzer and you start your turn by standing him up, you guarantee that he stands up. If that blitz would have failed with the Witch Elf, then this blitzer would not have been able to stand up. Reposition the number 10 Journeyman behind that number 2 blitzer, and now quarter number 2 begins. The ball is on the opposing 2-yard line, caged up by Mammal Nightmare. They still have both their rerolls. They're going to start this turn with a 2-die block by Mortis the Mangled. They get the knockdown. Now they're marking the number 10 Journeyman. They take a mark on number 11 over in the left wide zone as well. 2-die blitz by Clath Nightmore. They get a push out of this. Black Wolf, welcome to the stream. I've been right here all day. I've been working all day. Got a couple of streams and I got to do some work tonight too. Although I did have Thai for lunch. I've got some Thai food in the fridge, some leftover from lunch that I'll have for dinner. Ball's going to shift up to the 4-yard line just outside the left wide zone here. The Werewolves staying on the back of the cage here. Festoon, aware that these werewolves are very important pieces, might be a little afraid of the frenzy and maybe not seeing an opportunity to take the blocks and keep the werewolves safe. So the offense is just continuing to push forward here. Turn 5 for the Dangerous Knights crew. Ball carrier currently 2 spaces away from the end zone. You can see there's 13 spaces from the line of scrimmage to the end zone. Ball carrier has an MA of 7 with 2 rushes. That's 9 spaces. Plus 2 is 11. So 2 more spaces will get them into scoring position. To go for the Dangerous Knights crew. 4 minutes, 16 seconds in the boat spot. No re-rolls remaining. All these marks, very, very scary if he intends to dodge away from all of them. He's going to have to dodge away from a fair bit of them. So Connor, I hope Connor doesn't mind me calling him out. Connor, I don't know Connor, but I know Connor is not just new to the league, but new to Blood Bowl as well. And you can see Connor, we're in week 7, and you can see just how much Connor has learned as a new Blood Bowl coach. Right, he understands wanting to keep the formation together. Has learned this concept of these columns. Now going for the blitz with the Witch Elf, gets a push on the raid. It's going to be a sidestep. Has to follow up here. Oh, goodness. Oh, goodness. Frenzy trap on the Witch Elf, and it's got to be a knockdown. So the Witch Elf with Frenzy has to follow up. Tried to go in on the cage here. That first block failed. Had to follow up and take another block. That was an uphill block. That's what we call the old Frenzy trap. And there's the skull. One additional removal here for the Necro team. They now have a 2-man player advantage. Another armor break. Can they make it 3? They can indeed. 3-man player advantage for the Necro team. You have to be very careful with Frenzy there. It's great so long as you can get your positive blocks, you can get the 2 die in your favor each time. It's great for trying to knock down pieces. But if you find yourself in a position where the second block is disadvantageous, it's an uphill block, meaning that your opponent has the strength advantage and therefore they choose the die, that could be very dangerous. Witch Elf's also a little brittle with the AV of 8+. There we go, the blitz with the werewolf. Only gets a push out of this, but we'll get the frenzy follow-up into it too. Another push. Always disappointing when you have the werewolf and you only get a push out of it. But picking off the blitzer here. The second werewolf is going to mark number 12 over in the left wide zone. And there goes the ball carrier hanging out on the sideline here. So now on the opposing 10-yard line on the left sideline. So the Witch Elf does have jump up. She could stand up for free. It doesn't cost her 7 MA. And if Connor's... if Connor's able to get his Witch Elf set up, could get dice on the ball here. turns left for the Dangerous Knights crew to try to stop this score. The ball is currently in scoring position. One rush would do it. Of course, MAML Nightmare doesn't want to rush if you don't have to. Two-die blitz against Rotgut McSmash would be a push. Pushes straight ahead. I don't think he has any movement left. Stays put with the runner. Yeah, no more movement left unless he wishes to rush. Repositions number 11. Try to cover the sideline here against the Ghoul runner. "36 seconds left in the turn." Again, no rerolls for the Dangerous Knights crew. Good 2+ dodge, setting up the columns on the sideline. So good coverage on the sideline now, but needs to protect this space here as well. Needs to protect about out to here. This Ghoul runner, right? This is just as easy for the Ghoul runner as this would be. Two-die block over the right wide zone. Gets a POW out of this. Looking for a 9+. Doesn't get it. Frees up the journeyman. J.R. Wilkes, welcome to the stream. J.R. Wilkes says, "Do you have to roll Disturbing Presence in the second block of the Frenzy block?" Noob says, "Foul appearance mean yes." Yep, that's right. Foul appearance, you gotta roll it every time you take a block or a blitz. Good 2+ dodge at center pitch into a rush to get back to center, so you can see again. I mean, I genuinely find this very impressive. So Connor, 6th, 7th game of Blood Bowl, you can see understands trying to fill these gaps to prevent the ball carrier from being able to score on this this upcoming turn. Dangerous Knights crew down to 3 minutes, 3 seconds on the bonus clock. Now turn 7 for MAML Nightmare. Gotta end this turn in scoring position. They're currently one space out. That is score, or one rush away, I should say. They are in scoring position. 2 turns to get this ball into the end zone. These werewolves are very good too with Frenzy. These are great for pulling players out of position because you can get two blocks on a player. You could take a push on the first result and then a knockout or a push on the second result, and you've for one block or blitz, you've pushed someone 2 spaces away. That can really make or break a formation. Blitz on number 7 got the POW here. So has opened up a lane. Needs a little bit of sideways movement to do it, but has a lane right here. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2 rushes to get it into this would-be pocket. It's not all that safe, but the Wraith can come in and cover the rear. Student taking marks. That's what you got to do. You may say to yourself, it's a 2+. I can't stop them. It's not. That is not that safe. It is just not that safe. And especially when your opponent has no rerolls, no dodge skill. Here we go. I think we're going to see a couple of rushes here. There they are. The two rushes. Get in the pocket. Here comes the Wraith to cover the back of this, we'll call it a cage. And now 6:50 left on the bonus clock for MAML Nightmare. Still has both their rerolls. Doing a great job on offense here so far. Spire asks, any death yet? Nope, not yet. Not yet. An injury and a KO. Good presence of mind here by Festoon to fill in as many gaps as possible here. Took the rush with the Flesh Golem to fill in the back right corner after repositioning the Wraith. Spire graciously lowering the rush failure rate from 900% to a measly 99%. Clivius, thank you very much for the bits. Dangerous Knights Crew do indeed need a hero here to stop the score. Even if they don't stop the score, they can play this game for a draw. They are elves. They can even play this game to win. But it's tricky when you're down 0-1 going into the second half. This guy. Look at this guy. He's just, man, he's just insulting number 7. Under a minute to play here for the Dangerous Knights crew. Trying to find a way to get this ball, probably considering whether it's even worth the risk or not. Marking out the two players behind the ball carrier. Is he gonna go for the big dodge blitz? The old double dodge blitz. Dangerous Knights crew with 10 seconds left on the clock. Here's the blitz. Failed the dodge. Went for the blitz. Couldn't make it work. Turn 8 for MAML Nightmare. They do have 2 rerolls left. We'll see if they take their blocks before scoring. I get very skittish. 3-die block on the Witch Elf. Very well done here by Festoon, identifying the Witch Elf as a prime target. Only gets a dodge push out of it, unfortunately. Did get the 3 dice. Very well done. There we go. 1-0 the score. MAML Nightmare take the lead in the ball game. Okay, I was going to come back from Dangerous Knights crew. They'll be down 1 player to start this final turn of the first half. If there is a timeout, the Dangerous Knights crew can absolutely get on the board. All 11 on the pitch for MAML Nightmare. Screening out the end zone. They're a little forward here. Almost as if they're like this would be fine for. I mean, it's fine now, but you'll often set up a little forward here when you're worried about the throw teammate. Otherwise, you can set up on the 22 and just be further away and still maximizing all the dodges. Five on the line for this offense in what is potentially the final turn of the first quarter. Coming up tonight at 9:30 p.m. I guess it's not really a doubleheader. It's going to be pretty far away. Coming up tonight at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, it's UTC -4, so that's about an hour and a half from now. We're going to have Conspicuous Disunion versus the Pipstars, Chime versus Dead Fred. That'll be Necro versus Lizards. It'll be the final game of Week 7. Here's the kick. Cheering fans. Let's go. Let's go. Get it. Get it. Necessary violence. Nuffle demands it. He wants injuries. Move says putting golems in a wraith on the line of scrimmage helps shut down the one turn, but with no rerolls and no real passing from the backgrounds. After it's worth the risk. Yeah, I'd agree. Got a knockdown. That's not an injury. It's not an injury. Well, it's a roll in the injury table, but it's not an injury. There's a KO. Boot Polish, welcome to the stream. Boot Polish says Necro versus Pix. One die against number 9 gets a push here. Good KO here on the Flesh Golem. We'll see if it sticks for the second half of the game. Yeah, not gonna use Stand Firm here. He doesn't want to give another block against the Flesh Golem. Blitz still on the table though. Probably a blitz against Rotgut. Oh, he's going to go for Flesh Golem, it looks like. So a 2-die blitz with the Witch Elf, it seems. Here it is. 2-die blitz gets the knockdown, looking for a 10+. Doesn't get anything out of it. Doesn't have anybody with sure hands, it looks like. Just show it off. Show it off with the Witch Elf. Jumps over the pro player. Second quarter going to begin here. MAML Nightmare will be on defense once again to start. Did I say second quarter? Second half of the game. With MAML Nightmare being down a player. The KO did stick. So great KO by this Dark Elf team to remove that Flesh Golem. You heard Move earlier saying, I don't know if it's worth it there. And it may turn out that it was not. One of these 2 Flesh Golems removed from the pitch. Oh, he's got 11, doesn't he? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. No, he's 10. So 10v10 on the pitch. One of the strength 4 players off the pitch. Three on the line for the defense. 2 linebackers, 5 in the secondary. Currently 7 on the line for the offense. Almost certainly we'll see Corned Beast. I'm going to call him Corned Beef. Corned Beast, the number 5 runner, back to receive. Yes, indeed we do. Now 4 on the line, spread very wide for this offense. Could put 5 on the line here and try to block this line down and control center pitch. It's spreading this Elf team very wide. There's a feature that Google provides. It's software stuff. I won't get into the dumb, boring details, but they're not providing it anymore. And so there are third parties that will pick up the slack where Google will no longer provide it. And for my company, we got a quote from some other company that will provide this feature. They're like, oh yeah, it's just $30,000 a year. And I'm like I'm not gonna call them out, but it's like, it's not this, but just imagine like a to-do list, like a to-do app, asking you for 30 grand a year. That's how obscene I felt this was. And so I was like, absolutely not. So go back and talk to them again, right? and we went back and talked to them again. And they're like, oh, you know what? We found out a way to make it cheaper for you. Just 12 grand a year. What? What are you talking about? What? No. So finally, they're like, oh, we actually have one that's like $20. Oh, do you? Do you now? Imagine that. My goodness. Grave mistake. Welcome to the stream. Ball kicked to the 8-yard line after the solid defense was reset here, and now turn 9 for the Dangerous Knights crew. Spire asks, is the previous prayer stay, or was it just for the drive? It was just for the drive. It was just for the drive. Although there's a way we can check, right? These can tell us what prayers are. I think these are highlighted when there's a prayer in effect. But that particular prayer is just for the drive. Setting up a cage around the ball, so it looks like he'll park the ball on the 8-yard line here. Had a very wide offense here, so giving up those blocks against those linemen on the defense. Oh, failed the 2+ pickup. Spends a reroll. Now the Dangerous Knights crew down to 1 reroll for the game. This is why sure hands can be such a great skill. Not just for the free reroll and the ball pickup, but if you're up against a team that has stripped ball, such as number 11 here, or a Wood Elf team that almost certainly fields at least one War Dancer with a strip ball, sure hands negates strip ball, so it's very useful in that case as well. Great mistake cheering for this defense, who's currently in the lead right now, 1-0. So just the blitz, and that will be it. Turn 9 now for MAML Nightmare. So they're gonna get a 2-die block against number 3. They get the POW out of this. The armor break. And gets the KO. 1-man player advantage for MAML Nightmare. So fielding just the one Flesh Golem now with the other one KO. Now gets the 2-die against the Witch Elf. Gets a dodge push out of this. This was a 2-die because here's the Witch Elf. The Witch Elf could have had an assist by him, but he was marked. This was 3 plus 1 here. And here's your 2-die block. Hunting this Witch Elf with the Werewolf, and that'll work out due to the block skill. Just 8+ to break armor, but didn't get it. Very well done by Festoon here. Identifying that Witch Elf was exposed. Used the claw of the Werewolf. Claw, frenzy, and block, mind you. Got the knockdown, didn't get the armor break. Repositions the Werewolf. Drop kick on number 4 will be a push. That'll be it. Turn 10 back to the Dangerous Knights crew. So they are caged up on their own 8-yard line. Need to be a little careful with this cage. I think for a speedy, agile team like this, spreading out might be more called for. It's always tough to make strategic decisions because they're so broad. But by grouping up so tightly like this, the defense, if they're so inclined, can start to apply pressure here, and here. Especially if they start to rack up the player advantage. Was that the pen of death? Yeah, it was. I bought an HDR TV earlier in the year, and man, I've been loving it. I've been playing, I've been playing video games, and I'm like, I crank up the, I don't crank it up, but I set it to like the brightness that the TV supports. And I'll be playing these games, and I'll like flick the camera into the sun, and I'm like, oh, I can't see. This is awesome. Oh, I can't see anything. This is great. Yeah, exactly right. Moob says, forming a full cage, including protecting the back so early in the drive can be bad because you can get surrounded. Better as elves to form a screen, in my opinion, and prevent being surrounded. / too much penetration behind your line of scrimmage. Did he go for the foul? Tried to foul number 13. Got nothing out of it, or got a stun out of it, but oh no, he was already stunned. Regardless, did not get called off the pitch. But now more players tight in on this cage here. The Witch Elf is going to dodge down pitch, but boy, I would be very surprised if she's not going to eat another blitz. So you can see the players on the wings here not providing too much assistance here. Right, these tackle zones aren't protecting a whole lot. So MAML Nightmare now, if they wish to, they could start applying some pressure. Could also just try to take the marks and eat through that last reroll for this Dark Elf team. I'll also point out, since I'm calling out Connor, look at this. I find this amazing. Look at that. Console player. Our first console player in the league. I think that's awesome. So going for the blitz over in the left wide zone. Gets a knockdown here. 8+ to break armor. Doesn't get it. Follows up with Dragon Redclaw. He'll reposition. Dragon Redclaw. Now that the second half has started, even in the second quarter as well, started to really put in the work here. As oh my goodness, look at that flag. It's green screened out. Really put in the work here. To leverage that claw frenzy block player. And now applying pressure on this cage. Heavy pressure, leaving a few players in front of the cage as well. Understands that if an elf gets away, it can be hard to catch them. Keeping those fast players in front of the cage. Turn 11 for the Dangerous Knights crew now. They have 2 minutes, 35 seconds on the bonus clock. Just the one reroll remaining. The folks that cut my lawn, they do a great job. They came out for the first time this season, and double skulls against number 11 on the block. Spends the final reroll here, and so now all the rerolls have been spent. Gets the knockdown thanks to the block skill. Frees the ball carrier, but no more rerolls left for the Dangerous Knights crew. So now things on much more shaky ground. And they do a great job. And then I got a text message like, that'll be $108. I'm like, what? What happened? 2-die block on the right side of cage here. Gets a push. But they're lovely folks, and they always do a great job, so I don't mind that much. 2-die block in the back right corner of the cage here. Gets a knockdown. And it's firm, no armor break. So the right side of this cage on those blocks, they're done. The blitz already spent with number 1. Might be time for number 5 to retreat. But we'll see what Connor decides to do. Dangerous Knights crew back on the bonus clock. They have 2 minutes 30 seconds remaining. Spent the whole day working on this issue. It was like, oh, this thing doesn't work. Well, it never worked. It was never a thing to begin with. so I did it, but then it only works in a certain version because something else changed in another version. Failed. Yeah, you think it's a free dodge, but it's not. Eventually you fail them. That's a turnover on the left side here. And now, turn 11 for MAML Nightmare. And so something else in a later version changed something else that makes it not work. It was a very frustrating day. On the clock here for MAML Nightmare. This defense closing in on this cage. This cage very tight near its center pitch. Festoon considering the options here, going for the blitz with the Wraith against number 2. Gets a push or a both standing result here. Will take the push. Pushes the player off the corner. That's the blitz. No more blocks to take. Witch Elf still on her feet. Threatening perhaps a pass. I mean, Edge 2+, that's not bad. That's... In fact, it's the best you can get. Barring also having a catch skill. MAML Nightmare on the bonus block once more, and they're taking marks. Yeah, they're the bashy team in this matchup. So taking these marks, I think really benefits them as a team. Plus, with the opponent now without with no rerolls, it just makes the opposing team's turn all the more risky. Good mark here on the Witch Elf. There are no spaces this Witch Elf can dodge that isn't a negative dodge. It'll be at least a -1 modifier to this Witch Elf. Still a 3+ to get out on the corners. Now a 50-50 on the sides. Turn 12 for the Dangerous Knights crew. Under intense pressure, this cage slowly collapsing. Has a 2+ dodge away with the runner straight back. Keep in mind, even though a pass is a once per turn ability and a handoff is a once per turn ability, you can do both in the same turn. So you could say run 7 spaces, hand the ball off, run 7 spaces, pass the ball, run 7 more spaces. I mean, you can go a very, very long distance with a pass and a handoff, but that will be a turnover on the skull. Frenzy follow-up. Boss Lady's going to be knocked down. Turn 12 for MAML Nightmare. Final turn of the third quarter. Frenzy can be a bane or a boon. And now the block on the ball carrier. This is the dump off ability. Probably dumps off to number 6. So gets the block into a push on the runner. The runner gets to interrupt this block and do a quick throw with the ball. Where did this ball end up? It ended up in the hands. So failed catch. The ball's going to end up in the hands of Stitch Jaw Brain Snatcher, number 11 Zombie. Normally not the player you want with the ball, but if you're in the lead and you can keep them safe, why not get a zombie touchdown? I want to see it happen. So odd situation there with the dump-off skill. It ended up with a failed catch and put it in the hands of number 11, and that is the active player. So number 11 now with the ball can move this ball. 2-die block on number 2, gets a POW here. Seconds left in the third quarter. Here's the werewolf over the right side. 2-die block on the witch elf, gets a push. Now we'll get 2-die block with the werewolf. It'll be a 2-die to a 1-die. Might reposition this ball first. Yeah, there's the ball repositioning. Gonna hand off to the wolf, very well done. Gets the ball in the hands of that very fast werewolf who also has the block skills, so leaves him a little more resilient. And now the 2-die block against the witch elf, 2-die blitz, I should say, gets the knockdown and reposition Craven Blade Claw. Very, very well done by MAML Nightmare. So Dragon Red Claw, the ball carrier. And the Dangerous Knights crew are going to need to stop this werewolf right here, or else it's not looking likely that they'll be able to stop a second touchdown. Tough decisions with the Dangerous Knight crew. They have 9 players left on the pitch, but the Witch Elf way down pitch here on the 16-yard line. She does have jump up, so she can get back into this drive. She has 7 spaces of movement despite being marked, or I'm sorry, knocked down. Yeah. Standing up players, but getting no activations. This is going to leave the werewolf free to run and have a protective contingent as well. Blitz with the Witch Elf. Uphill blitz. Oh my! Oh my! Nuffle provides on the uphill blitz. Gonna get the knockdown on the werewolf. A 9+ is break armor. We'll see where this ball ends up scattering. Scatters out to the right wide zone on the dangerous night. I'm sorry, on MAML Nightmare zone 2-yard line. 2-die uphill blitz worked out here with the Witch Elf. You miss every foul, you don't roll. That's right. And then a dodge to get a mark on the ball, so the Dangerous Knights crew staying alive in this game. They're down to 1 minute 5 seconds on the bonus clock with a quarter to play. Two-plus dodge by the number 10 Journeyman. $50 seconds left on the bonus clock for the Dangerous Knights crew. Failed the dodge by the runner. The runner will stay on the pitch. Turn 13 now for MAML Nightmare. Nightmare in the leads. They still have both their rerolls. 4 turns left to play. Another break at center pitch. And he is terrifying. Got the removal. Very well done. That's another player off the pitch. 2-man player advantage now for MAML Nightmare. And now a 2-die block against number 11. Right in front of it. Well, a couple of spaces off the ball. But he'll be pushed aside. 2-die on the Witch Elf. This will be a dodge push. Frenzy follow-up into a dodge push. So the Witch Elf will stay on her feet as well. Can't free up the number 11 lineman to get the assist on number 6, who's currently marking the ball. Both standing result over on the left side of the pitch. It still has the blue runner, Zorath Flesh Render. Zorath, however, does have sure hands. So it could be a stand-up blitz with the werewolf. It will be 2-die blitz with the werewolf gets a push into a frenzy follow-up. This will be another 2-die. Okay. It'll be a 1-die. Spins a reroll, got the pal. Breaks armor. Gets a stun out of it. Very good stun by the werewolf. Push here would have been a 2-die thanks to the Wraith. Here's the ball pickup. Failed the pickup. It gets the free reroll. Ooh. The ball's going to bounce one space behind now on MAML Nightmare's 4-yard line. They're still in the lead, though. Turn 14 for Dangerous Knights crew. Can they make some magic happen to recover the ball here? I think it was the right call getting the ghoul in there to leverage that sure hand skill. Mark taken against the werewolf. Currently has a 1-die. Werewolf does have block. Dangerous Knights crew looking for any opportunity to get on the ball here. They do have the Witch Elf with a positive dodge out. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on the mark. 3+ to pick up. But no way to keep her safe. These journeymen don't matter anymore. No rerolls left. It doesn't matter. You don't have to worry about the loner roll. So that's, I always find that relieving for some reason. So 5 elves over on the right wide zone here, but this is giving up center pitch pretty significantly. Still a few elves left to reposition. Number 2 is currently marked out. There's nowhere to go that doesn't have a -1 applied. 1 die block on the werewolf. Gets a push out of this. Stays put, so leaves the werewolf free to move. There's the dodge by the witch elf. He's going to go for pickup. 3+ pickup works out. But now what? I think a prayer to Nuffle is in order. Fails the dodge. Oh no! Yes. Was that the dodge or the rush? It was the rush. Failed the, of course it was the rush. Failed the rush. Trying to get away. Oh man. Turn 15 for MAML Nightmare. The ball's now on the 8-yard line inside the right wide zone. Moop says, hard to disagree. It's never relieving when loners don't matter because you have no rerolls. Because having no rerolls is stressful. Yes, I don't disagree with you. I'm not saying it's rational. The ground remains undefeated. Ground's a pro. There we go. Good recovery by the Ghoul here on turn 14. Moves the ball into center pitch. Pretty solid control of center pitch here. Has a couple of players to reposition. Will take a block on number 2. Double skulls on number 11. Is he going to spend a reroll here? Spends the final reroll. Gets a push out of this. I hope you do poop polish. Repositions Dragon Redclaw over to the left of the ball carrier here to fill out the front of the cage. Gets a push on number 2, turn 15 now for the Dangerous Knights crew. Penultimate turn of the game. They have 2 minutes on the clock with 41 seconds on the bonus clock. No resources remaining otherwise. The opponent has the ball on the Dangerous Knights Cruise. Dangerous Knights Cruise. That's a lot of S's. 2-yard line. Dangerous Knights crew down by a touchdown. Boy, they got to end this turn in scoring position. So somebody's going to have to go down pitch and threaten to score. That has to happen. And then the Dangerous Knights crew, I think, needs to put some faith in Nuffle and hope they can get this, do something to hopefully get this ball back at turn 16. Yep, Loop says can make it a 1-die fairly easily. Problem is recovering and getting the scoring threat. 2-die blocked on Carl Eatnose. Number 14 zombie in the right wide zone gets a cow here. The Dark Elf runner on the block. No armor break. Gets the assist against the number 6 Ghoul runner. Needs somebody down pitch if they want to draw this game. $18 seconds to go with 41 seconds on the bonus clock. Does have a couple of free players over in the right wide zone. Can easily get them in the scoring position. Blitz on the right side. 2+ dodge to a 2+ dodge. Or rush to a 1-die blitz, and that's going to be a push. And they're going to push the Blue Runner one space closer to the end zone. Follows up here. Spire said strip, yeah, but he has sure hands. Sure hands negates strip ball. Failed the rush with number 10, so with no one in scoring position, the Dangerous Knights crew will not be able to get on the board. Mammal Nightmare is going to win this 1-0, but they have 2 turns left to try to make it at least 1-0. They're going to try to make it 2-0. Two-die block against the number 2 blitzer. Gets a push into a 2-die frenzy follow-up. Gets the knockdown here. 8+ breaks armor with claw. Doesn't hit the armor break. Now blitz with the Wraith. 3-die blitz gets a pal here. Well done. 9+ to break armor. Broke armor. Can he get cast out of it? Nope. But got a stun. Well done. Craven Blade Claw takes a mark over in the left wide zone. The ball is going to move into the left wide zone as well. Now on the opposing 18-yard line. Oh no, double skulls by the Wraith. Double skulls by the Wraith. The Wraith will regen. Turn 16 for Dangerous Knights crew. Can they stop this score? Two-plus dodge. Took the dodge, no blitz. Gets a mark on the ball carrier, looking for a 2-die blitz. Two-plus dodge to a 2+ dodge to a 2-die blitz. Double skulls! Will he stay alive on the 8+? The runner will stay alive. Oh no! No, runner, no! At least it's not permanent. 2-0 will be the final here. Mammal Nightmare is going to win this one. Very well done. Oh no, Mammal Nightmare taking a blitz. Taking a blitz to free up the ball carrier. That'll work out. Gets the knockdown. Good armor break. There's the score. Very well done. Well-earned victory here this evening for Mammal Nightmare. They had a spot-on offense. On defense, they saw that the Dark Elf team caged up early. Took advantage of that to apply that pressure, but even so, you saw Mammal Nightmare didn't get overly aggressive. They knew they were up against an agile, speedy team, so they applied a little bit of pressure, still kept their secondary in check, and then when it became apparent that that cage was going nowhere, they applied that pressure heavy, and were able to recover the ball and win this game 2-0. And so Mammal Nightmare picks up their first win here in this competition. Again, very well deserved and well played by both coaches. Again, we talked about Connor a little bit because I know Connor is brand new to the game. And despite this being a 0-2 loss, I think played a great game. I'll tell you this. Connor played a better 6th game of Blood Bowl than I did by a wide margin. So again, we pointed it out a little bit and did this especially just to show new players that or maybe if you've wanted to play Blood Bowl and you've been maybe intimidated by just how much there is to the game, just how quickly you can pick the game up and start improving like game after. I mean, it's genuinely every single game you see significant improvement. And while that's awesome to watch, I got to tell you, scary for me because then I'm gonna have to play these coaches. All right, we've got one more game to see. Let's take a look at the schedule real quick. I don't know if we're gonna leave or not. Let's see. All right, coming up next at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. That's about it's about 40 minutes from now. We have Conspicuous Disunion versus the Pipstars. Chime versus Dead Fred. That'll be Necro versus Lizards. What should we do? What should we do? You know what? Let's do this. Let's why don't we take a look at one of my games for 20 minutes? We won't get through the whole game. Maybe we will. I don't know. Well, no, we absolutely won't get through the whole game. But we'll spend the next. I don't want to just cut the stream off for just 20 minutes. So what we'll do is we'll watch one of my games for 20 minutes, and then we'll kick over to the 10-minute timer like normal at 9:10. So and then we'll get the second game underway. So let me cue that up. Who did I play last? Was it the Pipstars? I think I played the Pipstars last. Let me see. Week 6, that was the Pipstars. All right. All right, this was my game last week against Dead Fred, the Pipstars. So I'm the human team. Dead Fred is a lizard team. We're actually going to see the Pipstars in just a few minutes. Festoon says, I'm excited to see Connor continue playing MAML. Me too. Me too. I think Connor's done a genuinely stellar job of picking up the game here. It may not feel like it, especially when you're a new coach. Until you start picking up the W's, but I gotta tell you, I see significant improvements game after game. Spire says, I need you to win or draw tomorrow, please and thank you. I mean, no promises. I don't know. All right, the inducement phase here. I can't remember how much I had. I think I had a Cindy Pie whistle. Yeah, 70K. So I'm pretty sure I picked up a Cindy Pie whistle here. Might have gone with a K. I don't remember. It's been less. It's not even been 1 week. I don't remember. So I pick up a Cindy Pie whistle for 50K. Cindy's a bombardier. We've seen her use a lot. She's so inexpensive. So there we go. Cindy Pie whistle taking to the pitch here for Technobabble Inc. Here's the coin toss against these lizards. Pipstars win the coin toss. And they're going to choose to be on offense to start, so they want to control the momentum here and get on the board here while they have these skinks. So we're going to set up with these chevrons, our chevron formation here. I ended up taking Cindy off the pitch. This was a... don't do that. That was a terrible idea. So with only having one player on the bench, if I lose one piece and I can't get this ball back early enough, I'm not going to get a lot of use out of Cindy. So, but boy, did I think I'd be able to get her on the pitch. So Cindy on the bench here for this first drive of the game. Chevron formation because I'm up against these skinks. They're very fast, and they have the dodge skill, so I don't want them to get behind me. So I'm going to set up some tackle zones in that chevron formation just to try to screen out the pitch and prevent them from getting behind me. 3 on the line. I have the Ogre. 6 on the line for the Pipstars. You see that Crocs at strength 5 Crocs on the left side of the offensive line. Spire says this week has been brutal on a bye and have a good chance to drop from first to fourth. Division B is close. Yeah, all 3 divisions are pretty close. Yeah, Festoon, you genuinely played a great game. You had a commanding offense in the first half, did very well. And I liked your defense in the second half. Just keeping it cool, keeping the formation together, saw the opportunity to apply some pressure, didn't get overcommitted, waited for that pressure to stick, and then you were able to recover the ball. I think you played a very well-deserved game, well-deserved win. Here's the kick. Uh-oh, we got a blitz with a 4-player blitz. 4-player blitz. Got a blitz down to Skink. Should have made this a 3-die blitz. I don't think I did. I was so worried about him getting behind me. See, the objective for my team here is to hunt these skinks, get them off the pitch. These Sauruses, very easy to mark down with they're Edge 5+. They do have a strength of 4, but they're not going anywhere if they're marked. Same with the Crocs. So the skinks are really the focus. Now a mark taken on the right side here. So I'm marking. So humans are jacks of all trades, masters of none. They're my favorite team. I think they're a hard team to coach, and I am by no means a great a great coach. But I think in this matchup, right, you're up against these skinks, so you want to get aggressive on those skinks. You want to play more of a I don't know if bashy's the right word. You need to screen them out. You need to go after those skinks. And so you want to take those marks. You want to get those blocks. You want to remove those skinks from the pitch. Humans have bog standard linemen, so they can take the hits on the Sauruses. Turn one for the Pipstars on offense. Typically, we have the offensive team on the bottom half of the pitch, but since this is my game, I'm always on the bottom. Gonna block down the line. They get a push here. They're gonna get another push. Trying to knock down number 11. One more block coming up. Got a POW out of this. 8+ breaks armor. I mean 9+ breaks armor. 8+. Well, it's an overbreak either way. Got a stun here. Got a stun on the right guard on the line, or the right defensive tackle. Now, 2-die block on the Ogre here. Got a POW. I think if I were to replay this game, I would not put the Ogre on the line. I'd rather have that Ogre be available so I could leverage Mighty Blow and maybe get it on a more important mark rather than just eating up the Crocs block. Two-die block on the left defensive tackle here gets a POW. Cyrus with block skill, didn't break armor. Now blitz over in the right wide zone. 2-die blitz. Gets a push out of this against the number 9 lineman. Decides not to follow up. Might reposition with this Saurus. Doesn't reposition the Saurus, so the number 9 lineman will remain free over in the right wide zone. Good pick up by the Skink. has the ball on his own 10-yard line. Advances the ball up to the 6. Turn 1 for Technobabble Inc. Stand up the ogre, no problem. Every time you activate that ogre, you gotta get to the boneheader roll. It can be scary, especially if that ogre is holding down an important point, like on this line here. If he fails that boneheader roll, he could be in trouble with a bunch of Sauruses and Crocs coming my way. Gonna mark down that right Saurus. Marking down the left Saurus here as well. So it looks like I'm gonna go after these skinks. Checking out where I can make my blitz and where I want to end up being here. Still have a player to stand up. Reposition the right quarterback out one space to the right. So I'm going to move these chevrons over to the right a little bit. I think there I'm deciding I'm going to dodge out that lineman. First I'm going to go for the blitz because that's safer. Two-die blitz with the block skill. That looks, I can't tell. That's a knockdown. I'm not actually watching the I'm watching the video in this little monitor. So there's a removal. One-man player advantage out for Technobabble Inc. We have a mark on the ball. Yeah, and there's the dodge off the line. Fail the dodge. We'll let him have a break. We'll let him relax. Turn 2 now for the Pip Stars. Pip Stars getting 2 assists to try to block down this player who's marking the ball carrier. Are you wondering what you will do? I don't remember. My memory is very poor. Well, people will say things at work. They'll be like, how does this one thing work? And I'm like, I don't know. And they'll be like, you wrote it. I'm like, oh, I don't know. We'll play board games and people will say like, hey, you want to play this one game? And I'm like, I don't know how to play it. They're like, you taught the game a week ago. See that block against the ogre here. Looks like a knockdown. Against D. Now 2-die against number 9 once more. Gets a knockdown here. Sounds like it's storming. Got the armor break. Got the removal. Well done. So it's 10v10 on the pitch now. One human lineman taken off the pitch. So see, the problem with not fielding Cindy is now, if he scores on turn 8, I'm going to get 1 turn with Cindy if I don't get that KO back. Spire says, I smell a fouled ogre. I think you might be right. I think that's what happens. Yeah, there it is. Well done by the Pip Stars. Got the removal on the ogre. Got the injury. He is off the pitch. 2 SPP for the Kaz. And now I'm down that strength 5 piece. That's a big loss for this human team. No pun intended. SP Beaver says, remind me to play a fake dead friend to take care of that pesky ogre for our game. Yep, that's week number 2. I'm not going to have my ogre. 2-9 block on the number 5 blitzer here gets a push. So even though these Sauruses are strength 4, if they're up against a piece with block and they don't have the block skill, you know that can be risky. So, and that's the problem with low TV lizards, right? Spire said no apple on the ogre. Nope, I didn't use the apothecary. The apothecary is for heroes. All right, number 10 dodged away, decided he's gonna get right back on the line. He says, all right, my place is here on the line of scrimmage. You're going nowhere, Mr. Cyrus. Oh my goodness, what is happening right now to my computer? Holy moly. All right. I hope the audio is still going. I decided to update a piece of software and boy, did it screw stuff up. Anyway, 2 rushes here to take a mark on the skink, the back left skink. All right, we're going to reposition the thrower here. We need to cover more ground here on the pitch. I blocked it up on number 10. Got the pal. Looking for the 8+ to break armor. No armor break, but another mark on the ball. Turn 3 now for the Pip Stars. So they've got free direction here over on the right side. If they want to commit to the right wide zone, they can move the ball forward. I'm watching this game. This window is probably genuinely 640 by 480. Oh, wait. I've got a better way to watch it. Oh, this is much better. All right. Knocks down homomorphic encryption. Homomorphic encryption, of course, is when you encrypt something and you can perform algebraic operations on it without having to know what the values are. I could get 2 numbers, not know what the numbers are, add them together as an arbitrary example. And by add, I mean perform some operation. I could take 2 numbers, add them together, and give you back the answer without knowing what numbers I added and without knowing what the answer is. Push on ambient occlusion over on the left side of the line. 40 seconds left in turn 3 here for the Pip Stars. Gatorade moves forward, so now carving out center pitch here. Advance this ball up to the 8-yard line, but failed the dodge, unfortunately. And that's a loose ball. Turn 3 now for Technobabble Inc. Can't use a team reroll on that. Had a free reroll with dodge. Failed it. Needed a 3+. Failed it both times. Seconds down here in turn 3 for Technobabble Inc. Still have all 3 rerolls. Considering taking a second mark here for a 2-die block or a 2-die blitz on the Saurus. Back face culling to take a mark on the forward Saurus on that 10-yard line. And now elliptic curve Diffie Hellman, the number 7 catcher. Going to take a mark on the skink who's marking the ball currently. Now a 2-die on the menace. This will be a dodge push by stored procedure. I decide to spin the reroll. I only get a push here. Still have a 2-die block. There's the 2-die. Got the knockdown. I can follow up the armor break here. Stunner is, I can mark that down skink. Now the blitz on the marking journey. 2-die blitz. Gonna spend a reroll. Decide not to spend a reroll. Get a push out of this. I really wanted that knockdown, but we'll push him off the ball here. Trying to push these skinks off the ball. I second guess the 1-die block on the Saurus. I think I'm fine with this. Turn 4 now for the Pipstars. And now this Crocs is going to move in to get the assist, start blocking down these players who are marking the ball. Minute 20 left on the clock for the Pipstars. If they can recover this ball, they've got good positioning here at mid-pitch. Could also swing out to the right side here in the right wide zone. Depends on which direction they're going to go. They get the knockdown here on homomorphic encryption. No armor break, but that frees up the Saurus on the 4-yard line. Here's the blitz. 2-die blitz on the catcher. Gets a POW here. Needs just an 8+. These catchers only have 8+, but they have catch. They have dodge. They have an MA of 8. Pushes onto the ball to bump that ball out of this scrum. Well done. Gets a favorable bounce here. And now a positive dodge will get the down skink onto the ball here. Down skink here, get a positive dodge to recover the ball. All right, well, that's about the 20-minute mark. We're gonna kick over to the 10-minute timer so I can get something to drink. I can freshen up. We'll get into game 2 here. This game ends in a 1-1 draw. There's the spoiler. 1-1 draw here, but maybe someday I'll do a thing with these games. I don't know. But all right, we'll kick over. We'll kick over to the 10-minute countdown. Get something to drink. Use the restroom. Get something to eat. We'll see you back here for game 2 tonight in just 10 minutes from now.